Welcome to Code Voices in STEM, the podcast that highlights the experiences, challenges, and career stories of culturally and linguistically diverse women in STEM. Join us as we explore the stories of these inspiring women and learn more about the diverse contributions they are making to the world of science. Here is your host, Dr. Chloe Lim.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chloe Lim and you're listening to Code Voices in STEM, a podcast that highlights the experience, challenges, and career stories of culturally and linguistically diverse women in STEM. I begin today by acknowledging the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. I also extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today and acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands and waters wherever you may be. The deep connection to the land, culture, and community enriches all of us and contributes greatly to the life of this country. In this season of Code Voices in STEM podcast, I'm very excited to highlight Canberra women in STEM, and I'm honored to have Nadine Najmeddine with me today as our podcast guest on this special podcast series. Nadine is a seasoned professional with over a decade of experience in scientific sales and channel management. She holds a Master of Biological Sciences from the Australian National University, a Bachelor of Public Health from the University of Canberra, and a Bachelor of Medical Science from Northern Lebanon University. Currently, Nadine works as a channel management specialist at Thermo Fisher Scientific ANZ, where she excels in fostering client relationships and driving business growth. Recognized for achievements, she received the Rookie of the Year Award in 2015 and a Top Field Sales Achievement Award in 2017. She is an ongoing member of the 100% Club for regularly exceeding targets and KPIs. A passionate advocate for STEM, Nadine is committed to inspiring younger generations to explore science and technology. Fluent in Arabic, English, and French, she thrives in multicultural environments. A devoted mother, Nadine values family time and cherishes making meaningful memories with her children. Welcome, Nadine, to the podcast.
Hey, Chloe, how are you?
Yeah, no, it's so good to have you here with us today. So you've done quite a bit of STEM in your life. I'm curious to hear more about your background and how you became interested in STEM.
So STEM is something that I was always interested in, specifically biology, ever since from a very young age. That was my favorite subject, along with physics and a bit of chemistry. It is something that I've always thrived in. I always asked a lot of questions, which my teachers at a younger age didn't really appreciate until later on. So I was always thriving to find answers and knowing, the reason behind, understanding how our body works, how our the environment around us work, and just from little things, then the questions started to grow. And then when it was time to go to uni, I basically decided to do medical science. I completed my degree back home in Lebanon just as I was graduating. Actually, I missed my graduation day over there because we decided to move to Australia. So we migrated to Australia in 2005. And ever since we've been calling this country home. So I started my career in Australia as second in charge in a food lab, doing a lot of the food testing at a company in Sydney. And a few years later, about 6 years, there was a round of redundancies. And then that basically got me to explore other opportunities out there, such as this when I joined basically the commercial world, if you want to call it. So where I can utilize still all my skills and various aspects of STEM and my degree and the whole thing and all the knowledge, and try to apply it as much as possible into providing solutions to working with the various researchers, for example, our universities from various sectors, as well as, being able to get into the hospital and just help out with a lot of the pathology testing and as well as food testing and a lot of the other industrial segments as well. So yeah, and I've been pretty much at it since for about over, I think, nearly 20 years now, I
Wow,
think,
that's
or
amazing.
15, about 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So that's like 15 years in the commercial world. Is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah.
Yes.
And so I guess what was it that drew you to move more into the commercial side of the science industry in that sense?
So the commercial side of things is interesting because no day is like the other. So you're always on your toes. You always have different challenges. Sort of like you're you don't have a full-on routine day. So no day is like the other. Of course, you have like, the regular admin stuff and all of these things, which are the regular things. However, the conversations that you have with, I said, with various researchers in the university industry, like you'll be talking about chemistry um, for an hour or something and discussing like, research and separations and all of these things. And then um, the next hour you have to like switch hats and start talking about biology and cancer research or eye research and the various things as well, where while it's still STEM, it's the conversation obviously is completely different. And I do enjoy so naturally I do enjoy that, to be challenged all the time. I'm that type of people that I need to be challenged regularly, and I don't like being too comfortable in what I do. And that led me to start a new challenge for myself, basically before COVID time, a year before COVID actually, where I decided to just start a new degree in public health and international and digital marketing. So where I was still working full time, studying full time, and I had two boys as well, so full time, housewife and mum and everything as well. Um, and yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed it,
Mm,
being on the go all the time, being always like my brain always functioning, I guess. That's what helps, or that what
mm.
makes me thrive.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I think it's interesting. I guess so, you decided to do a study alongside with your work as well. And so what was it about the Masters of Public Health that got you into it? Is it something that you feel could help you with your work, or is it more just a curiosity course? Or what is it that made you decide to do a
Mm.
master's?
Yeah, so I guess it's a mixture of reasons. One of them obviously was to basically because I want to be challenged. And I like, to have I like that being busy all the time.
Mm.
And the other part was I needed to understand the public system a bit more, or the public health system, to be able to assist and to be able to be successful in my job, and also dealing with the various tenders and the various bodies, like different health bodies that we work with very closely. So it does help to know. I figured that it does help to know the processes, to know what's behind the policies, how everything gets done, how things get to that stage, to be able to understand how and where I can assist,
Mm,
right? Or I can
mm,
work with the different bodies on providing the solution, and what type of and what is the process, what is the length of the process. Also, again, to be able to avoid any surprises towards the end, like if a process will take about 6 to 8 months, you wouldn't actually provide a solution that will need to be implemented within a month, because
mm,
it's not valid. It's a waste of everybody's time. So it's those ones. And I guess on the personal level as well, it was to teach my kids that it's never too late to do anything in life. You're never too old to do anything you want, it's never too late. As long as you have your mind and heart into something, you'll be able to achieve it, right? As long as you have the right commitments, the right level of, I guess, commitment within you, you'll be able to achieve whatever you want in life, despite how old you are, despite how many other responsibilities you may have, you can still do it.
Mm. Yeah, well, I would take that as like your master's as one of those projects or achievements that you're really proud of. But do you have
Yeah.
any other projects or achievements that you're really proud of in your STEM career?
Yeah, so to be honest, I got to the stage where I'll look back and I actually look at every single little achievement as an achievement, like no matter how little or how big the achievement is, it's very important for us to celebrate it, to be able to move on. Again, it's you learn through various courses and various throughout your career, and discussing things with various people, and looking at different aspects, you learn that it's very important to utilize your emotional bank and basically bank into your emotional bank to be able to move on and to be able to keep working, keep giving, keep providing. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there one specific example maybe that you can share a bit more in detail with us?
Um, to be honest, there are a couple of things. Well, obviously, I'm very attached to my family, so having my family and the support of my family is very important, and it's actually a key reason of why I keep going and I keep waking up every morning doing what I do. And that's one of the main reasons. I just cherish that time that I get to spend with them. And the other thing on a professional level is basically being able to progress in a large organization to reach, like, 10 years milestone is huge, despite basically, like, all the various challenges that you face, all of the ups and downs and all of the various things. It is a big thing to be able to, especially in this day and time, to be able to stay within, a business for such a long time, and still, like, you get the phone call of, thank you so much. What you have provided was the true solution, or was the actual solution that helped, like, within our processes, or like, it's those little things, I guess, that you receive from channel partners that we work with regularly. That makes a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think that's, congratulations on being able to hit that 10-year milestone. I think that's a huge testament to your resilience and also to, the hard work that you put into your work, isn't it? That's being recognized. So, for those who don't really know the commercial world, would you be able to share a bit more about your career journey, like from where you first started all the way to
Mhm.
this 10-year mark? And perhaps
Yeah.
if you could tell us a little bit more about the sort of challenges that you have to overcome at each stage, just so we can understand a bit more of that journey.
Yeah. So when I decided to start in the role, or in the like move into the commercial world, I actually started as customer care. So in customer care, to basically, again, to learn the process a bit more. So I figured it's better to start from, a reasonably early stage, to be able to get used to the processes, understand a bit more of what's happening, and how things are progressed. And then, so I stayed in there for a couple of years. Then I basically moved into being a technical coordinator, where I have identified within the process that, not everything or a lot of requests and a lot of challenges that customers will be facing, or someone is facing on the other side of the line of the phone call, can be fixed or can be actually solved just right there and then, instead of having to wait and book time and send somebody else and everything. And all we needed to do is just provide a bit of training. So that was my little project that I started on the side back then, and that was educate and train our customer service team at the time to on the regular products, on the frequently asked questions. How can you address that without having to actually go to someone else or having to wait, which because at the end of the day, time is money for everybody, right? So if you are able to help someone right there and then, you are assured that that person will actually appreciate it and they will remember it long term, because that's how we are as a human being. We actually remember that person or that company who actually helped us, and we always tend to go back because of that positive feedback and positive service that was provided. So I stayed in that role for a couple of years. I completed that project, which was a success. And then I moved into product management, where I was an associate product manager for chemicals. So I helped launch or I helped in the bringing a new chemical brand into the country and launch the products and everything. Mind you, I had no idea about marketing or anything, but I was reading a lot. So that's one thing that, is, as I mentioned earlier, once I have the passion about something, I want to learn more about it. I want to be able to excel in it. I have to master it to a certain degree. So that was that part. So stayed in there for about again a couple of years, and then there was a round of so the company was sold. So there was a round of redundancies, and I started in Thermo Fisher Scientific as an account manager, looking after ACT and Southern New South Wales. And yeah, about 5 years into that role, I just felt I was too comfortable and I needed a new challenge, and that's why I basically moved on to channel management, which is something that I really enjoy, because my current role is more of global. So it's a lot of business development type of role. I work with a lot of different businesses around the world. So I have to basically, just talk to different people, different structures, different even, it just comes to the extent that on some occasions, or in some countries, they've got different financial years that you have to remember and you have to learn, and you have to make sure that you're putting the business plan based on that. The most challenging part, I guess, about the commercial role is you have to master time management. So you have to be able to manage your time effectively. Otherwise you end up doing a lot of, it's never like it's never an 8 to 5 job, and you won't be able to do the work-life balance effectively. So you have to sort of learn how to manage your time effectively to be able to live a comfortable life. Otherwise, you end up being burnt out, I guess. It is a very rewarding role at the same time. So, or from the perspective that you have, you can surround yourself with people who will be able to support you. You need to be able to network properly, and have that level, being comfortable, I guess, with being rejected, because sometimes you just have to pick up the phone and do a cold call, and the person on the other line might not be in that mindset to be taking that core, even like, discuss anything, or not ready or busy doing something else. So you just have to, I guess, build that resilience and be very, very resilient within you, not to let it affect you in a negative way, to be able to just like, move on the next day. Always look at the half cup full. So ignore the half cup empty, just focus on the half cup full. As hard as that sound, but you sort of train yourself slowly to be able to do that. And after a bit, you're automatically just doing that, right? It just becomes a habit that you tend to do. But it's always happy. It's always a happy moment when you actually get a positive feedback from a researcher, or from pathologist or somewhere, because you were able to help them and to provide a solution that actually made a huge impact on their workday. Yeah, so thank
Yeah.
you does go a very long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that appreciation, it
Mm,
goes, I mean, in any part of life, right? Not
yeah,
just work, but family as well.
absolutely.
Expressing gratitude, saying thank you really does lift the person up. And I think it also means that you're not taking people for granted as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that just helps. I think it helps lift the morale of the person you're expressing gratitude to, and also yourself, because you're recognizing it yourself and being able to appreciate the person a lot more too. So now that's very interesting to hear about, I guess, the sort of challenges and how you've progressed, from being supporting customers at customer care level to now really going on a global level. So I would say that, you talk about resilience. I think resilience is such an important thing for
Mhm.
people in STEM. I mean, in any field really, but people in STEM, I guess, encounter failure a lot. I
Yes,
remember,
absolutely.
being one of the researchers that, chatted with you about different solutions for experiments, and, I just just having to deal with failed experiments and troubleshoot and working all those things out. I think having someone who has that technical specialty and know the sort of tools and I guess reagents perhaps that could help solve that problem is a huge support. Yeah, that I think, yeah, we definitely appreciate for sure. So, and we're so dependent, I guess, researchers are very dependent on like technical companies to be able to provide those things that we need so that we can actually do our research. So thank you again, Nadine, for your support.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. Always
Yeah,
happy to
no,
help.
yeah. And I guess, it's interesting. I'm always curious about the because you talked a little bit about sales, and I'm curious to understand more about sales in, I guess, in the technical world that you live in. Are there a lot of women in that role?
Um, I think the role or the industry has shifted. So you will find there is a lot more women, I guess, these days. Like I would say probably after COVID than what it
Mm,
was before COVID. And I think that would be related to more of the flexibility around the role. And a lot of, it's not a secret that a lot of women like to go back to work earlier, earlier, earlier on than expected. And it's true that we have all of the different, I guess, equality, if you want to call it, between men and women to a certain degree in a job perspective and everything. However, there is still that expectations, I guess, from the woman, especially when you have a family, to look after the kids, to be able to be available if you get a phone call from the school for pickup, or like, to attend like, doctor visits and all of the various things. And it is actually important for the child as well to feel that balance. And I guess at the as you know, at the early stages of life, the child needs you a lot more then, later on they feel a lot safe. I guess you're their safe zone or their safeguard, if you want to call it. So as a female or as a woman, you are required to have that availability, like to be available, I guess. You can't just say, no, I can't do it. It's not an option. So this role or the commercial role, account management did actually provide a lot of flexibility around around being able to be a part of the children's life as they're growing up at the early stage, and the whole thing, even though that it does require a lot of traveling as well. So you are away on some occasions. And that takes me back to my earlier point about how important it is, if anybody decides to go down this path, how important it is to make sure you have great time management skills and you are able to, manage your time effectively.
Yeah, I think that flexibility in working arrangements is such a big thing now, and I think post-COVID, it's kind of expected that employers need to be providing that flexibility if they want to
Yeah.
retain their staff, and I think in some ways, I would say that employees would also appreciate their employers more when they can see that they are being understanding of, the need to support their family, especially if they have caring responsibilities.
Yeah.
And would you say that, I guess, the current industry has shifted so that there is more flexibility for not, I guess, just carers in general, because I guess it's not just women who needs to care,
Yeah.
but there might be people who have other caring responsibilities too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And as I said, it really goes back to the person, and it does go back as well, like to the employee and employer, basically, like to have that mutual agreement. But again, time management will be key as well, because you just need to be able to perform and complete your job, and not while still trying to balance or find
Yeah.
that balance between work life and family and other
Yeah.
commitment as well. Yeah.
So what would be your time management tips for us then?
So I guess depending on the role that you're in, just make sure that you are actually completing your tasks. Don't overburn yourself, because you will reach the point sooner or later where you just stop being motivated. So try to make sure that you have set timing during the day to perform your work, like to have it dedicated to just work, and just as long as there is, like, if there are time you have to do other things, just do it. You live once at the end of the day. And there is no, I guess, as much as a lot of people would disagree, especially people who provide a lot of the training about time management and the courses and the whole thing, they might disagree, but I don't believe there is a one example fits everybody. It's at the end of the day, it depends on, the job that you're doing. It depends on yourself as a person. Like some people thrive and like to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get things done, get specific work, like, work emails done, because they know that that time of the day is when they are really proactive. They can be very, very proactive. They can be actually very attentive. Their brain is ready, and they can basically, this is the time that which they are very productive in, because their day is full of meetings or any other things, and they need to be able to attend. So if that's who you are, just do it. Basically, get it done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, all of us work a little bit differently. We have different
Yeah,
times where we are productive as well. And I think it's so important to do that time blocking because I do that myself as much as possible as well,
yeah,
just to set a task and just complete it, do it during that set time. And I think they do talk about like using the Pomodoro technique as well for people who might need a little bit of support in getting tasks done. So
yeah.
where you focus 25 minutes on the task and then you take 5 minutes break. And
Mm,
in a way, that's actually really good as well because it goes back to the concept of primacy and recency as well. So when you do work fresh, you can actually
mm,
remember things a lot better too. And I think your brain is also a bit more alert when you have
yeah,
not regular breaks. Yeah. And of course,
yeah.
to contrast that, there's also what we call deep work. I think Carl
Mm,
Newport talks a lot about it in his book, Deep Work. And, the idea of spending 90 minutes of just focused deep work, because then you get into flow. And when you
mm,
get into flow state, you kind of be even more productive because then you're completely focused on that task. So that focus, I think focus time is so important to be
yeah.
able to create our best work, isn't it? So now, aside from time management, like mastering your time effectively, what advice would you give to other culturally diverse women who are pursuing a career in STEM?
Everything is possible. There is no limitation, basically. The sky is the limit, as I like to say. Um, just, you it doesn't actually being multicultural or from a multicultural background gives you an advantage in a way because you can look at topics or look at challenges a little bit differently or look at any um, topic very differently and bring a different perspective to the table. So use that as an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Don't feel it is a disadvantage at any stage. And we all start somewhere. We all learn somewhere. So we have to actually, the most important part is to make that first step. That first step is the most important and the most difficult, um, I guess, the step in your journey. So just have a path. If you need to take a different path to achieve what you want or what you dream, that's fine. There is, there is nothing wrong, I guess, in doing that, and that doesn't change you as a person, and it doesn't actually make you less successful than anybody else. Um, what matters is achieving the end goal and
Mm,
having that set end goal, and just put little steps. Just work,
mm,
just one step at a time. I know we all tend to wanting to succeed and wanting to achieve things fairly quickly. But little steps, just one step at a time, you will be able to achieve what you want and
mm,
have that faith within you and surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with those people who will actually give you that positive feedback, that will give you that positive energy and spread it around you because that's quite important, and we all need it again for the emotional banking is extremely important as well.
Yeah, no, those are great words. I think, I always go back to talking about defining success for yourself because that
Mhm.
is what is important to you, right? Based on your values and whether you're successful or not is measured against what you consider as success, not what other people say is success. So, Nadine, I know that your family is a big thing for you. And I think, it's very inspiring to hear, the support that you've been giving your family. And I know you just came back from a big trip as well, supporting your son
Yeah.
for a soccer program, which is fantastic. So, I think your story has been very inspiring today. Just hearing about how you've climbed the ladder in the commercial world, the scientific commercial world. And so I want to thank you for sharing your stories and insights with us today. We've heard about how you started, how you loved STEM from the beginning, and just having to move between different jobs due to circumstances out of your control, but still managing to keep striving and keep going. I love your passion for learning as well. I can't believe you did a master's while working full time. Like that's just crazy. But I know you are a big high achiever as well. So I think it's great to hear that people are so keen to keep learning, and that Nadine, you just want to keep learning and keep improving yourself. And I think that's a key thing for everyone to learn as well, isn't it? So that we don't stagnate, and especially if we want to keep growing, we do have to keep learning. Hey, so thanks
Yes.
again for sharing that. And I mean, you also highlighted the importance of flexibility in the workplace and mastering time management. So I think that's something all of us have to focus on and learn a bit more about, how to make time work for us rather than against us, and
Yeah.
make the most of it as well, because everyone has that limited amount of time on this earth too.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Nadine, for that. So can you tell us a little bit more about how people can connect with you if they like to?
Yeah. Thank you, Chloe, for having me. Really appreciate it. As mentioned, just I would like to just add one thing, actually, and that's about finding your balance. So you're an individual, as a person in a workplace. Find your own balance and stick to it. Don't look at other people, what they're doing, what they're achieving. Just find your own balance, because you know yourself, you know your capabilities more and better than everybody else. And you will find it and you'll be able to move on. And the most important thing these days as well is mental health.
Mm.
Prioritize your mental health, and there's nothing wrong with actually admitting that I need like 10 minutes off. I need just 10 minutes to basically switch off, go for a walk, come back, you'll be refreshed, you'll be ready to move on. So I would love to connect with anybody who'd like to through. So I have my LinkedIn profile, and that's basically my name, Nadine Najmeddine. So yeah, feel free to reach out. If you like to catch up over, like, for a quick chat, we'll be more than happy to.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much for that, Nadine. And thanks again for sharing with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on our podcast.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you.
We've reached the end of our show, so thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others or leave a rating and review. If you have any questions about the things we covered in the show or would like to follow my projects, please find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you at the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Cold Voices in STEM podcast. Get the show notes, links, and resources from today's episode by visiting drchloelim.com.